Hi and welcome to the channel, and today we're back on the Bongo. This thing's still got a misfire. We're going to go completely back to basics. We're going to check absolutely everything again. Since the last time, I've replaced the fuel filter. The fuel filter did need doing. It did come out a little bit dirty, so we might have some block injectors. We're going to just try everything again. But first of all, we're just going to remove the fuse for the fuel pump, and we're going to take out the relay fuse in the front here, just so we've got no fuel going through, and then we're going to check all the leads, the spark plugs, make sure we've got a spark again, and go from there. Okay, well, I've had the distributor cap off again. We're just double checking all the HT leads, make sure I haven't done a silly mistake like putting them back to front or one on incorrectly. Using the diagram pulled off the internet right there, everything is spot on, so we'll put that back on. Once that distributor cap's all back on, I'm going to pull each lead, and then we'll take the spark plugs out, and then we will check that we've got a consistent spark on all six. Also have fitted a brand new coil, just to rule out that. It was only 18 quid, which is an absolute bargain. So yeah, we'll crack on with that. Right, I've had every single ignition lead off. I've taken all the spark plugs out. We've checked for spark. We've got a good strong spark on all six and a consistent one at that. Okay, before I go any further, I'm going to take the fuel line off. I've had it off before just to check that we have got fuel coming through, which we have. Right, let's get this pipe off. Be careful with a bit of tissue to catch the fuel. And then we'll stick a bit of Red X in there. See if that'll help us. Oh, that's tight. Yeah, it's coming. There we go, here it comes. Oh, pouring out fuel. Lovely. Nice and clear as well. Fantastic. Right, let's stick a bit of Red X through. Where's my Red X? I've lost it. There it is. Hey, right, there we go. That should be enough. Put it in that end, and I'll put it into the fuel line as well. Right, a bit of Red X with a cowpole syringe. I'm going to stick it down there, and then that will go straight into the fuel rail, straight to the injectors. See if that will improve the misfire. I think that's about as much as that will take. Yep, that's full to the top. Stick it back on. Put the clip back on, and then we'll go for another start. So I put everything back together, and we're going to start it up for the first time and see if we've still got this misfire. I reckon we have. Alright, here we go. Oh, the misfire's that's running a bit better. It's still a slight misfire. Okay, it's still misfiring quite badly. I think the next job is to get any fault codes read to see if it's actually got any fault codes. And then I think we need to do a compression test on this, just to make sure, because if you come around the back, we do have a bit of white smoke. There we go. Not sounding very healthy at all. So I think we need to do that. Right, the first job is to remove the fuse, which is up under here. Having done a little Google search, I know it's that one there. Oh, I can't get my fingers around it. It's a pair of pliers. Nope. Come on. There we go. That one's out. There we go. It was right in there. Now we've just got to take the one out of the front. Okay, and then the front one. The front one's located in here, just under this cover. Let me sit on that side. Let's stick that up there so it's out of the way. And it's this one right here, which should just pull out. There we go. Put that there so we know where it is. Okay, right, all the spark plugs are out and the compression tester's in. Let's crank this baby over and see what we've got. Okay, here goes on the second one. Pretty good. Okay, that's the first two done, and they're both showing 200 psi. So we're all good on that side, but we're going to crack on and do the rest. Oh, leave that there. Okay, that's the final one done. It's dropped a little bit, but it's only dropped 1 bar. that was 195 as well. So basically every single one is either 195 or 200. So that is absolutely bang on. So we know we've got no problems with the internal side of the engine. Okay, now the compression test is done, and luckily everything is bang on with that, which is absolutely fantastic news. I think the next stage is to give it a quick diagnostics check just to make sure there's no sensors playing up. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be fuel injector related, because look at the state of those brand new spark plugs, absolutely black and covered in soot, which kind of indicates we've got unburnt fuel in the combustion chamber, which also is indicated by the fact we've got white smoke coming out of the back, which I kind of thought might have been head gasket, but we've now found that the compression is bang on for this. Right, before I go any further and take the fuel injectors out, I'm just going to run the diagnostics just to make sure that we haven't got any sensors that are playing up. I bought myself a cheap little kit like this with the LED light and a couple of jumper cables. This is for an MX-5, but it does the same job. The diagnostics port on the Bongo is there. Also, it's the same as the old, like I said, the same as the MX-5s, and the Mazda 626, etc., but they're upside down. So there's the diagnostics port. Right, first job is to take the jumper cable and put it in terminal 3, which is there. Already marked for me in white, which I did earlier. And then that goes into number 5, which is your ground. There we go, there's jumper in. Right, now we need to take the LED. And that goes in 1, which is next to that one there, which is your battery positive. So let's stick that in there. Let's use red anyway, just to make sure we've got the right one. It's positive, not that it really matters. In it goes, and then that one goes to number 1, which is there, which is the data link. All right, now we just need to turn the ignition on and then count the series of long flashes and short flashes. And that will tell us the fault codes, if there are any. Right, let's stick that there so we actually see it. Beautiful. Right, let's go and turn the ignition on. Okay, as you can see, the LED's flashing. I just need to count the sequences now, which will be repeated, and see what sort of fault codes we've got. Okay, the diagnostics are still flashing away, but I've read the sequence 4 times now. We've got 3 codes. We have 11, 12 and 15. 11 I'm not too concerned about. That's just the front right wheel, which is the ABS sensor or speed sensor. So that just needs replacing. The next one is 12. 12 is the TPS, which is the throttle position sensor. So that's either dud or needs a good clean. That, I don't think that would cause a problem that we've got. And then the other one is 15, which is the O2 sensor. There's only one on this one. That can cause a misfire. Okay, now we know we've got a couple of fault codes that we need to sort. I think the first job is to have this O2 sensor out, check it for resistance, see if it is dud, buy a brand new replacement, because if that is playing up, then that is not going to help the misfire issue in the slightest. So before we go down the route of taking off all of that and the inlet manifold and the fuel injectors, we're going to do the O2 sensor, because that could be our problem. Okay, there's the culprit right there. It certainly looks like it's the original. Give it a quick spray with a bit of WD to help us out. Go and connect it, disconnect it I should say, at the top. And then we'll have that little bugger out. Okay, that's the connector disconnected. Let's pull it out. Let's go and get a spanner. What's that? 21, 22. Let's go and get a spanner. Go with one of those, and then hopefully, yeah, it'll fit over there. Lovely. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, bit of a rejig. Slide underneath. Oh, that's tight. There we go. That was loose. Looser than normal. Do that by hand now, I reckon. Oh, my arm's not quite long enough. Oh, not the camera. There we go. Excellent. Well, it's covered in black soot anyway, which probably doesn't help it. Right, looking at the overall condition of this, I'd say this is probably the original O2 sensor. The vehicle's only been in the country a year, so it hasn't had a chance to corrode yet. It's the original Denso one, if my camera will focus on it. And there we go, it does. There we go, and out of focus, there we go, look at that. So yes, we'll order a brand new one. Right, the new O2 sensors arrived finally. It should have been an overnight service, but it took 7 days in total. So let's go and fit this and see if this has helped the misfire. Okay, back underneath we go. Right, let's fit this new one. Just screw it in. I think it's around about 20 Newton meters, but as long as it's done up tight with a spanner, it doesn't really matter. Right, let's just clip it in and we're ready to test this. Right, here goes. Let's see if this O2 sensor's made any difference whatsoever. Fingers crossed. Here goes. Oh, that didn't sound good. Got a flat battery, I think. Yeah, battery's completely flat. Typically, I haven't got my jump pack with me. Oh well, we're going to have to call it quits for yet another day. Okay, the battery's been charging overnight, so we've got a fully charged battery. Let's go and try it now and see if this O2 sensor made any difference to the misfire. I very much doubt it did, but who knows? Can't be that easy, surely. Right, I'm never that lucky. Right, let's stick the old key in. All the lights on, off we go. Let's see if we've got a misfire still. It's sounding a little bit better, but we've still got that misfire. Yeah, that's made no difference whatsoever, has it? Oh well. You know what that means? All this lot's got to come off because we need to get access to the fuel injectors. Let's get the ignition key out. Let's do my head in. The fuel injectors, which are right in there. Let's get my light underneath. You can just about make them out. The other side, it's a little bit easier. I'll buzz around to that side so you can see them. Okay, on the passenger side you can see them a little bit more clearly. You can see them up under there. 1, 2 and 3. But we do have to take off everything like I said earlier. Unfortunately, I've looked online, there's absolutely nothing about how to do this or how to take them out on the V6 petrol. Plenty of information on the 2.5 litre diesel, but nothing on the petrol. So we're going to have a crack at this. Hopefully we can get it all off to reveal the inlet manifold, remove that, and then gain access to the 2 fuel rails and the 6 injectors. Right, well that wasn't good news. So unfortunately, we're going to have to spend a little bit more time on this, and hopefully we can resolve the problem that we've got with this Bongo. So yeah, on the next video I'm going to have a go at getting all the injectors out, get them sent off, get them cleaned, repaired if needs be, because they are pretty old. You probably are the originals. Yeah, we'll go from there, see what we can do. So hopefully when the injectors come back, we'll get them all fitted, and then fingers crossed that will solve the misfire, because if it doesn't, it's a little bit beyond me. I can't think of anything else that we could actually replace on this. It might be the distributor, but I really don't think it is, because I said we've checked all the spark and it's very good and consistent. Also, apparently it can skip a tooth or jump a tooth on the cam bell, but again, it hasn't been put through any load, it hasn't been driven on the road. And it was running all right, albeit with a slight misfire before this. So I'm pretty sure it is the fuel injectors, because I say we've got black sooty spark plugs, we've got white smoke coming out the back, and it just will not idle properly and it will stall. So yeah, it all kind of points towards dirty or blocked injectors. So we need to do that. But we'll do that on the next video, which is going to be part 3. So in the meantime, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next instalment.